Hey guys, thanks for tuning in this video. My name is David, and as the title suggests, I'm building a SaaS startup in my free time. Like most developers, we typically try to do this, but I decided to do this because one, I want to keep myself accountable to both YouTube and the project. So I wanted to release a video once a week to share my updates and challenges, and two, just kind of give you guys an inside look on what it's like building a project that you actually plan on having users on. So I hope you guys like this video. If you're not familiar with my channel, I'm a self-taught developer on my third tech role, and I share some of my journey in tech as well as the projects that I build. One of my last videos I actually shared what this project was, but in this video I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of what I'm building, my progress, and current challenges. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm working on, stay tuned. Alright guys, so this is Pzerro, which ultimately the goal of this application is to help developers make money on their free time. So um, there's plenty of marketplaces out there like Upwork, Fiverr, Guru.com, a bunch of different platforms. And marketplaces are very innovative when they first were coming out years ago, but I think a lot of the community has been frustrated with the solutions currently available. And I'm not just making this up. Before I started this, I was actually starting specifically with a problem that people really were passionate about. What was something that people currently use that they felt trapped, that they wanted something but not what they currently had. And freelance marketplaces were like a top 10, like Upwork. And I even like on the marketplace just flat out just share some quotes that I found. I actually have more that I don't even share. But yeah, so once I figured out there was a problem here, I was kind of like, what can I improve? And ultimately, what I saw was there's a lot of reliance on these platforms, um, but there's nothing better out there. Now they're just super crowded. There's high commission fees. There's a lot of like unvalidated, like both freelancers and clients that are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, whether it's paying or finishing the project. So I wanted to be like, how can I help developers get consistent work? And this is what we came up with. And it's just going to be a suite of tools that enable you to be proactive with getting gigs. There's a lot of lead generation platforms for every other industry, but for some reason, not freelancers. Everything is like go to sell, sign an account here and hope something's there and make a profile and try to attract people. And I really wanted to help developers be proactive. So that's what P0 is. The first feature is leads. We pretty much help you define types of local businesses that you would like to pursue that can use your freelance services, as most businesses need a website or a web application, and not all of them have, they're not a tech company, so they don't have a developer on staff, so they usually find a freelancer or a contractor or whatever to help them. And we help you find them before they know they need help or before they decide to go on one of those marketplaces. So that way you don't have to compete with as many people. And a lot of people do this to get their initial experience as a freelancer, but they do this manually. And we're going to help you do that in mass numbers so that you can make this part of your business. Um, so if you go to leads, these are ones that I have here. What you can do is to generate leads, you would just come here and say how many you want. We do a credit system, so it is a subscription to get access to Pzerro, but we give you 50 credits a month, and you can roll half of those over. Um, and you can choose to generate how many you want, and you can select the reasons. And ultimately, what we do is when you go to settings, you first sign up, you can choose up to five, I believe, types of local businesses. Your general location, and we use this information and we decide to generate leads. And we see one, if they have a website. If they don't, if they're still in business, then we'll recommend them to you because you could reach out and offer to make them a website. And the ones that do have a website, we analyze them for certain things like SEO scores, accessibility scores, performance, security, all these different checks. And based off of that, if they fail any of these checks, then we recommend them to you. And in the future, we'll probably try to do could use some UI improvements or outdated sites, which is kind of a personal opinion. So we'll kind of have to watch how we do that. But this kind of helps you. And then once you get these leads, we give you key information like address, name, and various contact information. If it was a website, we analyze it. So some of the more technical things that we found issues with it, like redirecting too many times. Um, we have, you know, I guess somebody's not bundling their CSS or whatever. Certain little things in here that you may or may not use all the information. I probably wouldn't share this with the client, but you can kind of have behind the scenes to kind of figure out what's going on with their site. So you can take notes, you can favorite them, you can delete them if you think you don't want to save them. So that is leads, which I think is an awesome feature to kind of have. And you can filter when you as you have a lot. Let's say I want to see if I have anything with the bad practices that has the email. There you go. Kind of can filter these down. So pretty cool. That's leads. Um, Next we have bounties, which is kind of a newer feature, but there hasn't been a lot of usage really because we didn't haven't really pushed it yet. We haven't really shared it, and that's something we'll kind of do the next week or two. In a nutshell, bounties are like enable us to be a platform like Instacart or DoorDash where you can solve GitHub issues for people, and in the future probably GitLab too. So, and you can do this in exchange for small funds. We already have open source, which is already something that I support too. But a lot of times you have these still projects that people need help with. They're not well known, or you're an indie hacker or a small startup and you don't want to hire a contractor for a certain amount of time or a big project. You just have like this one task that you don't know how to do, you need help with. This will hopefully enable you to support other developers by giving them 10, 20, $50 for a task that you need help with. So for you to do that, and actually, um, I've actually got one on here. So if you want to check it out, there is one on there. So one ticket that an issue I have with one of my projects. So make $20 if you help me out with. Um, just gotta make sure sign up for Pzerro. But yeah, to do it, you just go to GitHub configuration your settings. We encrypt the token, personal access token that you get off your account. We don't let you edit it. You have to remove it to replace it. We send it from the server, encrypted too, so there's no way for anybody to get it. And you can configure, your repo. You can pick from your repos. Once you select them, I think up to 5, you can go to create a new bounty and see it automatically picks the GitHub issues from there. Pick whatever one you want. Select how much you're gonna pay, and then you go through a checkout process. Pay for it. It gets posted, and then all of the month, whoever solves it first, and there's like a approval process of like verifying that it did get done, it did get merged by the repo owner, and you're who you say you are. Whoever gets that done first, gets the money, and it gets released to your account, and then you can pull that money out to your PayPal. We might change that in the future so you could direct deposit to your credit card or debit card, but that's how it is now. So that's bounties feature, and hoping to push this more. Um, the next feature that I'm really excited about is opportunities. The idea is there's a lot of different platforms out there, and it's kind of probably a pain to try to monitor them or get a bunch of emails or subscribe to a Reddit or Twitter thread or whatever, and kind of filter through all the things. So what we do is we monitor multiple sources multiple times a day, and we make sure that you're up to date with people reaching out asking for freelance developers help specifically. So you can come on Pzerro, and every day you can check maybe multiple times a day to see what projects out there, what is there money to be made. And while we can't guarantee that you'll get these jobs, you can be one of the first people to know about them, and it'll be easier for you to filter down what type of work you want to do. So here's a job for $1,353. I'm not a Flutter developer, but that if you're a Flutter developer, you could find out real quick and try to hit them up. So there are tools out there that do like keyword matching and stuff. Um, but one, they're very generalist. Two, there's a lot of like things that you don't really want. They're not really relevant. They're just looking for a word. They're not necessarily saying like this is specifically for you. This is accurate. It's up to date. So this is specifically made for freelance developers, and anything that you see on here will be relevant to you and will be recent and won't be 10 days later because you're probably too late. So this is super cool. You could just come on here every morning and at night and see what's there. Get the link, go to it. You click this, and it'll take you directly to the source, and you can try to reach out. So um, that is the 3 features we have. We also have a blog, which you can it's right here, but you can see it even when you're signed out too. Um, we only have 4 articles on there now. Again, it's pretty new, but hoping to have one of these once or twice a month. One I really like is this most in demand technologies on Upwork. We're not against marketplaces. We're not saying that Pzerro should replace them. We just want you to be more proactive and not just rely on them. Just like any other business, you want to just rely on uh, things that come to you just by a profile. You would need to be proactive, and we want you to treat your freelance business like a business. So, yeah, this is a good blog post though if you're trying to kind of see what's relevant if you're going to be on Upwork. So that was a cool one. But yeah, that is P0. That's what we're building. We've already had a lot of good traction. We have 160 users now, or signups, I should say. We do have some active users, which is cool. Um, we have a lot of usage, which is cool. A lot of data kind of go off to help me make decisions, and that's kind of how I've come up with some of the features. We've had a few people requesting on our Canny board for feature requests. I've talked to a few people through email. So it's definitely, I don't know if the solution is fully there yet, but I know that the problem exists and people are really interested. We get a lot of organic traffic. People sign up every day, 1 to 4. Um, and that's without ads. I actually released my first ad today. Hasn't really made a difference too much, but I think if we start pushing on YouTube ads, influencer marketing, direct outreach, um, doing things like that, we could quadruple the numbers that we're getting. So really, the goal is right now we really want to focus on building product that's usable first before um, pushing the marketing as much as possible. But I'm really excited about this project because I think people actually want it. I don't know how big it'll get, but that's kind of the goal is to increase retention, build something that is really valuable to freelancers, freelance developers, get feedback as much as possible, and generate some revenue just to prove that people really see this. So if you're a freelancer, I'm not going to put or a developer, I'm not going to push for you to pay for it, but give the free trial a chance and just get some feedback. I would love some feedback. Whether you want to reach in the comments, I'll also leave the Candy board if you want to give a feature request, the business email if you want to talk to me, and there's also I have a calendar at cal.com if you want to do a one-on-one video interview. So I really think there's something here, and this we'll be building and sharing over the next few months. Um, and hopefully you guys like it. I like the videos. The next couple of videos will probably go into some new things coming on, some new issues that we have, and some marketing. So if you like this type of content, feel free to subscribe and let me know in the comments how you think about this type of video. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.